Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, back with a new vinyl talk video, because I figured we are in that period which we call zwischen den Jahren in Germany, which does mean like between the years if you translate it correctly. So actually the period between like Christmas, which I don't celebrate, and New Year's Eve, which I don't celebrate either. So well, I got plenty of time to spend and to spare, like listening to mixes and stuff. And so I also figured, well, as we like have continued with the vinyl talk video series, let's do some of these more, because I don't know when I'm gonna find the time in the next year, in the new year, to shoot more of these. So let's dive into this. But before that, I want to dive into two other things, because, well, first of all, my like podcast for the 39 decibel series is still fresh. So find this reposted on my SoundCloud. I did like an old school house, classic vocal house mix for this Munich-based podcast series a few days ago. So link to my SoundCloud down in the description box. And I want to mention that the Combat Dubs 2 record of my label Intrauterin recordings, which has been released in like 23rd of October, the bass music UK garage, speed garage release I had with Sascha Müller as Combat Dubs together, has been like selected by the Milano, Italy-based record store Serendipity as one of the best singles of the year, which I'm pretty proud of and pretty stoked about. So I've posted this on a few platforms like Instagram and Tumblr and stuff, and also on my website nightsales.de. But I thought it would be nice to mention here, because like selling out, or basically selling out a record within 8 weeks is rare these days, which happened actually. I guess 6 or so are left at the distributor and will be sold out whenever the distributor restarts business, which might be about the 8th or 10th of January, when the first news list is out and the reorders are coming in from like the time from like, I don't know, about 20th to like whatever that date is. So when the distributor is not shipping, and I guess those records will be going out then. So this is a rare occasion, and like with a project that is basically unknown to the world, with a second release on a small label which does no promo, no digital stuff, being selected by a record store abroad as one of the best singles in a year is quite astounding. And well, I'm pretty proud of that actually, and I'm pretty happy about this. And the next Intrauterin recordings release is already like sent to the pressing plant. I'm waiting for the stamp to arrive and for a 7-inch to arrive in my place. Early January, I guess. Release date might be mid-February, but we'll get to this like when we are like picking this up from the pressing plant actually. So let's dive into the vinyl talk video now. And what we got here is a white label. Not much information here, only the handwriting of the guy from the record store, and there is my handwriting, Mr. Kirk's Nightmare, Kirk 01. Not much information given on there. And this was actually the first UK garage release I ever found, I ever bought. I guess Discogs states this was released in '99, but they have a version with a sticker on it, which has the same like catalog number, Kirk 001, but I don't know if it's the same release actually, because this is like an old school UK breakbeat classic by 4Hero, of course, Mr. Kirk's Nightmare. Like, I guess it's released in '99 originally, '91 originally, or '92. So there must have been like plenty of remakes of this track, and also in the UK garage style. But I found this back in either early '99 or late 1998 in the record store I work at, actually, at Otaku Records. And back then I didn't know about UK garage. It wasn't big in Germany at all. There haven't been like parties, and not much records of that style had arrived. And I was like sifting through the drum and bass stuff, because I was more interested in drum and bass at the time, playing a lot of drum and bass on the radio, and also shortly after that period started to set up drum and bass parties with a partner and stuff. And I found this, and I was like, okay, Kirk 01 sounds interesting. Mr. Kirk Nightmare is one of my favorite old school breakbeat tracks. Let's have a listen to this, because this was filed in the drum and bass section. And I was like, okay, this is, whatever this is great. Sounds like breakbeat. Tempo is more house, or like, I don't know, 130 maybe, 135, whatever the tempo was at the time. The groove is interesting, very complex, very swinging, but putting this on like 45 doesn't make it drum and bass. Putting this on 33 is way too slow for drum and bass. What the fuck is this? This is not drum and bass. This is a weird form of breakbeat. But I dig this, and I dig the sample use. Of course, the like main synth is in there, and the kind of horn or like single tone melody stuff is in there, and also like the like famed sample, Mr. Kirk, your son is dead, please come to the station house. All those elements are in there, so it was like highly recognizable. But whatever this was, it was not drum and bass, and it was like, I don't know, at the time, 21, 22, didn't know too much. Well, I did know quite a bit about electronic music because I had started to work at this store, and that guy asked me to work at the store actually because he saw that I knew more about like electronic music at that age than a lot of people did, a lot of customers did. So that was, I guess, the reason why he asked me to work at the store in the first place. But I stumbled across this record and was like, what the hell is this? This is not drum and bass, this is in the wrong section. And I asked about like, guy, what is this kind of style? I haven't heard like anything like this before, but I like this, I want more of this. And he was like, well, that's two-step, which actually is not really correct, because like two-step is more the commercial R&B pop leaning side of UK garage, I guess. And but it's like UK garage, two-step, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, oh, I was pretty much blown away. And this is how I discovered the style actually. And in the years to come, there was only like a big, I don't know, 1.5 years, 2 years max of like a hype around that kind of style, when I bought like, I don't know, this much, maybe more, maybe 1.5 meters of UK garage within like 1 year or whatever. Played a lot of parties, played this kind of stuff on the radio, set up also the, also with a partner, the lounge parties for a, I don't know what the compilation was called, but there was a UK Garage compilation which was set up by the Firetrap clothing brand back in the days, because, well, it was the thing to do, like doing like UK Garage compilations for brands and stuff. And they did like 2 parties in Hamburg, lounge parties for this compilation, which we set up with where I DJ'd as well, and which we promoted and stuff. And yeah, we did this. I was like asked by magazines about my favorite UK garage tracks, and like very like fashion magazines like called me up back in the days and like, hey, can you give me a UK garage tune you like? Just we can like quote you in that magazine, like in a, I don't know, there was like 4 or 5 pages fashion shoot going on and stuff. And they had, for each page they had a DJ, like, I don't know, DJ Hell was there, I guess, in the mix, and some other guys, DJ Tonka maybe or whatever. They called them up for their favorite style, favorite records, and they called me up for my favorite UK garage record and stuff. And it wasn't this, which was in that fashion kind of magazine, but it was another UK garage record. But yeah, for Hero UK garage remixes of Mr. Kirk's Nightmare, still great. Whenever I play UK garage on the radio or like in a club, well, if I'm gonna play in a club again at some point, but when I did, I always have this in the box, because this is still my like go-to record and one of my favorite UKG records ever, because it was the first one that fixed me up on that style and stuff. And yeah, and I only found this because it was in the wrong section, because there was no like dedicated UK garage section at the record store at the time, so it was put and filed under drum and bass, which was like a nice coincidence. And yeah, as I said, I bought a lot of UK garage records, not so much bootlegs. Well, I did buy the breakbeat leaning bootlegs, the old school leaning bootlegs like this, but a lot of like those two-step bootlegs with R&B vocals and like cheesy melodies and whatever, I left for another guy who was like a hairdresser, which also worked at the record store, because we had like a shared location between like 2 hairdressing places and the record store. So one of those guys was playing UK garage as well, and he was more on the cheesy side back in the days. But this is just a side note. So once again, Mr. Kirk's Nightmare, Kirk 001, just a short like vinyl talk video about this. If you want to look this up on Discogs, I don't know if there are sound files, but Kirk 001 will lead you to that record actually, and you will find only the one with the sticker on it, which might be the same, I'm not too sure. And I haven't looked this up on YouTube. Maybe there are mixes on YouTube, but as at the time I'm shooting this video, there are no videos of those like listed on Discogs as well. So just sift through some like archives or whatever and like find this, because this is great if you're like a DJ in this kind of field, and if you don't know this, and if you like old school breakbeat as well, highly recommend it. And that's it for today. Check out my other videos. We'll link some here and some here maybe, or like link the Bandcamp store as well. Thinking about abandoning Patreon again, because after like 1.5 years nothing happened, so I'm not too sure if it does make sense to keep the site up, or if it doesn't, maybe it just will like run along other projects. But unfortunately Patreon is not happening for me right now. But on the other hand, like Bandcamp is happening, you know the score, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, Instagram, follow me, you know, all that things down in the description box. Leave me a comment if you know about this record, or if you know about other UK garage records you might recommend and stuff. And I'm going to see you in the next one. See you later.